What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be showing you the new features and the installation of Ubuntu 19.10. So first things first, we want to head over to Ubuntu's website and we want to download the ISO file for 1910. First one that you're going to see when you go to the website is the long-term support ISO, which is 18.4. Just scroll past that and then you should see right below it 1910. And then go ahead and download the .iso file. I've already taken the liberty of downloading it, so let's go ahead and add it into our virtual machine. So you go ahead and add it here in the storage devices, the optical drive, and then just go and select your Ubuntu 19.10 ISO. Now, for those of you who want to install this to hardware, this installation that I'm going to do here is going to be virtually the same. The only difference that you'll need to do is, of course, burn that ISO file to a flash drive and then boot from that flash drive by making that the first boot option in your BIOS. You might also have to enable legacy boot. All depends on your system's BIOS, but I would just suggest Googling how to boot from a flash drive for your particular machine, since different machines are going to have a different BIOS. So let's go ahead and start up Ubuntu. And it starts in full screen. It's always nice when the OSs do that. I think, what's the other one that we did recently? Oh yeah, Mint. Mint started in full screen too. It always makes for a much better video. Alright, and we're going to go ahead and install Ubuntu to the virtual disk. I'm going to do English. And we'll do a normal installation. You do also have the option of doing a minimal installation, so say if you were going to just be using this as a server, you might want to do this since of course you don't need the games and software and media player, but I'm going to do the normal installation because Ubuntu is much more of a desktop operating system, so we're going to install it the way that most people would. And we'll download updates while installing, and we'll also go ahead and install the third-party software. Alright, so the first new thing about Ubuntu 1910 is that it has this option here, experimental erase disk and use ZFS. So it has an option for you to use the ZFS file system. And ZFS is really cool because it has support for very, very large storage volumes, up to 2 to the 128 bytes, which is something like 1 trillion terabytes, if I remember correctly. So it has support for a lot of storage, way more than you or I would probably ever use. The other cool thing though about ZFS is that in some cases it can actually be faster than file systems like ext4, and it's also supposed to have much better data integrity. I haven't really played with it a lot on my own though, so just make sure that you do backups of your software, of course, regardless of how good the data integrity is supposed to be. That way you don't lose data. So let's go ahead and install it with this ZFS. See how that runs. Yeah, let's go ahead and continue. And yeah, we'll do New York. Type in your username, type in the password that you want for your user, and I'll just go ahead and log in automatically. It's a virtual machine, why not? All right, and then this is just going to take a few moments to install. Looks like we got a little bit of software gore here when I went and made it full screen. Let's see, I wonder if it can do it in the installation properly. Okay, there we go. So another feature with this latest version of Ubuntu is that it actually has an option to install your Nvidia drivers from the ISO file. So typically what you would need to do with a Linux system is you would have to do the base installation, and then once you boot, usually one of the first things that you would end up doing is installing all of your NVIDIA drivers. But Ubuntu has found a way to bake that right into the ISO file. Now, I would suspect that these version of the NVIDIA drivers that you're getting probably isn't going to be super up to date. I mean, at the very least, it's only going to be as fresh as your ISO file is. So obviously, if you're using a much older ISO file, like if you download it months and months ago and then you still want to install from it, you're going to obviously want to go ahead and still update your NVIDIA drivers when you actually boot into your installed system. All right, so our installation has finished. I'm not going to restart now because I think that I don't have my hard drive as my primary boot media. That took a little bit longer than I remember Linux Mint installing. I wonder if it was because we were doing ZFS instead of the regular. Well, I don't think Mint uses ext4. I believe Mint is using BTFS now. All right, so let's go ahead and make the hard disk first. That way we can actually boot from the hard disk and not the ISO image. And the boot time looks pretty decent so far. Not too long. All right, and we are in Ubuntu now. So this first thing, I don't know if they added this in this most recent release, because it's actually been a little while since I've used Ubuntu, but this is interesting. So you have the option to connect your online accounts. This is really a lot like how Windows or the Mac OS would be, where you first set it up and they want you to connect all your stuff to them. I don't actually have any of these accounts. Well, I have a Google account, but I'm not going to connect it to Ubuntu. And no, we're not going to send system info. That's okay. I'm sure you'd want some system info, but we're not going to do that. And let's see, are these apps to install or apps that we already have? Use software. Oh yeah, so we can use software to install apps like those. We're not going to do any of that just yet, but we want to look at some of the new features. So one feature that I like a lot is inside of the applications menu, you now have an option to add applications into a folder, just like you would on an Android phone. So you could just drag, say, videos over the top of software, and you see that it creates this folder here. And then we can right-click on it to name it. So we'll call this random folder. And let's see, where did it move it to? There's my utilities. Move my random folder. Oh yeah, here's my random folder. So yeah, that's a feature that I think is really cool. Like I said, it's just like how it works on Android phones if you've ever used that before. And it ships with the Gnome 3.34 desktop environment, which I've got to say, it seems pretty snappy for Gnome. Usually Gnome is really laggy and I'm not a very big fan of it, but this isn't bad. This really isn't bad. Not for Gnome, at least. And let's see, yeah, sure. We'll go ahead and install the software. And of course, Ubuntu ships with the latest Linux kernel 5.3. Now, this is a testing version of Ubuntu, because like we saw on their website, this isn't the long-term support, this is the testing branch of it. I think it's pretty cool so far. I'll be testing it out a little bit more before I give any real opinions on it, but you should try it out for yourself. Probably don't do anything super critical on it, because again, it's just an experimental branch, but if you like Ubuntu, I think you'll like 19.2. Anyway, leave a like on this video, be sure to share it with someone who you think would find it helpful, somebody who you know loves Ubuntu, and be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you know when more videos are coming out. Peace out, guys.